Welcome to the Narrowboat that James built. Hope you're well. I'm not just being a prat and wearing sunglasses when there's no need. It's just because my safety specs kind of constantly missed up. They're crap. So, and this paint is definitely 50 years old. So that's why I'm getting them, just to stop the flakes going into my eyes. But this stuff's coming off okay. I've done that side, there's 4 there, I've got 4 more to do here. I'm just scraping it all off because these things just need to be smartened up. There's a load of chip paint and holes and crap around it. The top, the timber batten, I'm not too sure, I'm not going to do anything with at the moment because I'm thinking that might be replaced fairly soon. Even though it's fine, I would prefer a different seating arrangement, certainly for the kids. So I might have it high at the back and then lower here at the front or something like that, or have a portion which is slightly lower, or a more comfortable seat for the kids. But it all really depends on what the floor looks like once it's done. But I'm going to crack on with this morning and get as much of this off as I can, and then I can get the red oxide on it, and then my boat will start to look a bit like his. Well, so now I'm doing some work in the stern. I'm coming around all kinds of things which I haven't noticed before, and there's something here. There's nothing on the outside. I can see a few dents where they've put these, where they tacked these bolts through, but that's just a piece of plastic on there. So I'm not sure what this is covering up or what this is for. I'm wondering whether this is a space to display some kind of badge or something. But again, this is one of these high visibility areas. So I want this to be as good as it can be, or as good as I can be bothered to get it, without expending a ridiculous amount of effort. And obviously whilst I'm here, if it does need some metal work doing on the outside, there's a few other little bits that Paul's got to do still. So I'm kind of thinking I prefer to punch these through and have a couple of holes on the outside that need filling, rather than having this plate and all these bits sticking out for no reason. And I can understand why you might do something like this if you're on the cut and you just want to fill up an area. Well, let's see what's underneath this first. Right. Oh yeah, there's a gas shut-off valve under there. But that's all going to be redone because the gas locker is here. So that can come off and all. And you can get quite nice ones of those, not one written by someone else in Tipex. So the best way to do that is now just to punch through them, and then we can put them through with a spot weld. Clean them up from the other side. Good. Well, this is the stern light I never thought I had, and now I'm tidying up this area. I'm thinking about moving that. I'm not quite happy with the position of it. I think it looks a bit weird just sitting on there, because I think you can get those clips that will go round this, and I could mount it directly to that. I know this is kind of directly mounted to it, but it's on a metal plate kind of coming off it. So I'm gonna give that a go. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So I'll take that off there and check to see if it works. Looks like it's got a bit of water ingress in it. And I think it's a halogen as well. Okay. So this is the last bit I've got to do now, these uprights. My board. This just stops it all flicking into the boat. Coming off fine, just being scraped. It's not exactly fun, but it's a tad awkward in places. Okay, right, so the top of the tiller has been done here, and all of these uprights. As I said, I'm going to leave this as it is for the time being, because that's this bit of timber. So now I'm just going to finish doing the tops of them, sweep it all down, and then get the red oxide on it. So now is my time, because the primer on the outside has dried. I want to put the nav lights on, but I need to Sikaflex them on the outside to give it some waterproofing. And at that particular moment, it's decided to rain. So I'll have to wait. It's annoying. There are loads of bits kind of all around that I need to get rid of before I can paint it. There's old remnants of gas fittings, some exhaust of something or other. There you go, I'm trying to take this bit off first. So there's a gas fitting around here which I don't need, but that's all kind of been bolted in place. There's a fuel cock below here, but there's nothing actually there, and this tubing just runs all the way down to back here and stops there, so that's a massive waste of time as well. And there's a few other kind of clips and bolts and stuff which just aren't doing anything, so I'm going to get rid of it all, and then we can at least make it look a bit more tidy. Still raining. Right at the end, that was easy. Now I'm wondering about taking this thing off. So obviously I need a filler cap, but this is pretty unattractive. Just let them move. This is where the gas lockers were originally located. So you've got this bar here, which I'm not going to need anymore. Well, I've had to come in because it's just too wet out there to be doing anything in the stern. But sadly, I've got to report a broken leg. Luckily, it's not me, but my tripod. That clip there has broken, which means that leg is fine if it's all pushed in, but it can only be at that height or the other height of those two legs, so it's causing me a bit of a problem. But and I can't fix it because the actual clip inside it's broken. So not only is the handle part broken, but the bit that grips it inside is broken. And the worst thing is that this is my dad's. Oh, come on, rain, go away. Martin Lund suggested I did this. I was ready just now to sit down and have a cup of tea. He said, why don't you clean the boat, make it look nice in the boat yard? And he's right, obviously, you're right, Martin. But you said it in you worded it in a way where there was so much guilt. I felt so much guilt loaded into it. I couldn't not do it. And because you mentioned it improved the whole boatyard, I felt like a collective responsibility to make this look better. So, on one hand, I thank you because it will make it look better. On the other hand, I mean, I've been putting this off for a damn good reason. And the reason is, the jet wash, the power wash thingy doesn't reach this far, so it's got to be done by hand. And do you want to scrub this boat by hand? I think so. all day I've been carrying around this sodding nav light, and now it's stopped raining. It's too dark to do it. Anyway, right, I'll get to that tomorrow. It's been quite a fun day outside, even though it's been raining literally all day. I've managed to achieve quite a lot. All the kind of the fixings and the bolts and stuff all kind of around the stern, as you probably are familiar with this stuff, it's just so hard to get off. Some of these bolts have probably been on for 40 years, and it was just, you know, taking an angle grinder to quite a bit of it, and I mean, it all had to come out because, as I said, I want that to look good, and I'm glad I'm going to that extra effort to kind of get rid of all that stuff, because as soon as I start to lay down the deck, it's going to get in the way. I'm going to want it all gone anyway. And as I keep saying, the areas of high visibility I want really good. So I'm kind of happy with the progress made on there. I did want to put the red oxide on today, so I haven't got round to that, but I'll do that tomorrow. The washing of the boat, again, I thanks Martin, it was the right thing to have done, but like all these things, it's unearthed. Like in the stern, washing the boat, even that has unearthed problems. I mean, blimey, it's just ridiculous. There are it's now raining again. There are 1 or 2 kind of 100 spots of rust and, you know, issues. So I need to kind of grind down quite a lot of it, treat it all, and then you know, then I can carry on from there. But there is a lot of it. I don't think it's going to be too much of a pain to get it up. I'm obviously not going to use the same method as I've done around the stern. The main reason for that is that there's around the kind of the gunnels and all around these bits, it's all open. There's no kind of bits hanging out, and around the stern there's just no space to kind of get any other, you know, contraptions to get the paint off. Whereas around the main frame of the boat there's loads, so I can take to it to a sander and with an angle grinder and all sorts. So that'd be fine. So I'll have to get round to doing that fairly soon. To be honest, there was actually a sign writer here earlier, really nice guy, and we were chatting, and I'm really kind of interested in him doing some work on the boat. But it's made you think that if you spending all that money or going to all that effort, the cost actually, to be honest with you, was surprisingly low. But it's the effort, and you kind of think you don't want that bit to look brilliant, and the rest of it to be all denty and crap. So I'm gonna have to really kind of put some effort to the outside, which is something I've always thought I'd just get round to in the springtime, but now it's out the water, it is so much easier to do it. So and there's so much advice and kind of skill on tap here, so it'd kind of be silly not to. So that's another massive thing on the list which I could have done without, but it's there now. I'll hopefully get these nav lights in tomorrow, and the tunnel lights and a few other things. There's still loads to crack on with. I think there's a few deliveries coming tomorrow, which would be good. I haven't, you know, bought anything massive for the boat for a while, which is good, but there's a few big ones coming up: boiler, calorifier, solar panels, charger. So there's a lot to do still, a lot kind of big ticket items. But 3.5 weeks to go. They'll all be here, hopefully, touch wood, on board, working. That's the plan. Anyway, until then, hope you guys are well. Take care. Bye bye.